Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. It's a little late here right now, and this is like 2 days in a row, man. Yesterday, I did a video about this insane Jewish woman who was calling for white kids to be molested and starved out in cages. I have no idea where it came from. She locked down her Twitter account. Today, it kind of hit me. Uh, Domestic terrorism. So the damn Q thing. I don't know if you remember this from a few weeks ago, but they released that FBI bulletin that says QAnon and conspiracy theorists will be labeled as domestic terrorists or something. And it doesn't scare people. I can just tell you that it doesn't. It makes you look weak. People have already proved that document was leaked, but it was a fake, and they faked and phonied it. So here's what I've learned in the last 24 hours. I've learned that every single person running for the Democratic nomination for president in 2020 all came out together. They must have got their talking points from some kind of central office or something, but now they're saying that white nationalism will be categorized as domestic terrorism. And I'm really confused now because I'm white. I'm a Caucasian man. And white is definitely a real thing because it's in the first act of Congress talking about who can be a citizen in the country. The very first one. I'll show you pictures of this later. Now it's kind of just like an off-the-cuff one for me. I'm not going to prove anything in this one. But here you go. You got Adam Schiff talking about the El Paso attack by a white supremacist. But that guy was Jewish. He's ethnically and racially Jewish. His dad was a Jew. So I don't understand. But he's saying that should be domestic terrorism. The other problem that I have with this is that if the guy really shot up 20 people, killed 20 people, he's already going to do life in jail, and he's going to receive the death penalty. So what does it matter if you categorize it domestic terrorism or not? He's still going to face the death penalty if, in fact, he did kill those people. Plus, he was Jewish. And I'm not white, I'm Jewish is a meme. And we just had the lady yesterday. I already forgot her name. She works for Microsoft. I just did a video about that. But she's Jewish, and she hates white people. So I don't understand this, and I'm a smart person. I have a fairly high intelligence, I'm good at figuring stuff out. So I don't know where all this is coming from. Something shocked me, so I'm going to get down here to it in a second. They're trying to pass laws. This guy, Cuomo, okay, his brother was the Fredo guy. Fredo's brother, Andrew, who's the governor, La Cuomo Nostro. See, this guy's Jewish. This is the guy that shot it up. He's Jewish. How is it white? How is it white domestic terrorism? I don't understand. I mean, I get it. I understand what they're doing here. I just don't think it's going to work. But it looks like they're out of options and they're out of time because these are bad political plays. I'm pretty good at figuring out what would work on people and what doesn't. You've seen my work before, man. I'm not stupid. I figure out exactly where the soft spot is, and I apply pressure. And I watch people break underneath the pressure that I provide for making a 15-minute stupid video that I didn't even edit. I just upload it to YouTube, I tag it, I give it a catchy title, and an image there, and it works every time, man. And I'm so effective that YouTube has had to change their platform. They have to deboost me. They have to go out of their way to make sure that I don't tell people what I think. So today we had a domestic terrorism thing in the Portland. I've made like 3 videos today. I didn't upload any of them because I don't think that I don't think I didn't think they were that good, and I didn't want to risk getting another strike because I got 1 strike right now. So I'm gonna show you something here in a second. I'm just going to leave the link, too, because I want you to come watch it. I'm not going to bother. We're going to look at this real quick, though. So this is This is interracial violent crime. Now, everybody knows that the most dangerous person on the planet, actually the planet. All right, the planet. The most dangerous person for you to be around is an African. Statistically, it's true. And if you're an African American living in the United States, statistically, the most dangerous person for you to be around is another African American. They're violent. They have a problem with violence. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they can't just be normal and get along. But here's the statistics. So, black on white, white on black. Hispanic on white, white on Hispanic. Hispanic on black, black on Hispanic. So you can kind of see how this works. White people are not the problem. White people are not violent by nature, but they're difficult to conquer. And if I was a Jewish person, I would hate them. Because I would think no matter how much money I steal from you or how much I economically ruin your country, you still exist and you can still buck me at any time, a la, the 109 countries that have done it in the past. So eventually white people need to be collapsed, and it's going to be difficult to do this to them because at this point they've started to wake up. We're at like 60% white in the United States, and we were 80% white in the 1990s. So just in like 25 years, we've lost a fifth, of the country. I think I can probably get along with just about anybody, but when you lose the identity of the country, why would you come here anymore? Unless it's to work for Jews who run Facebook, Google, YouTube. Why? What's the reason to come here? So do Chinese people want to work for Jews for the rest of their lives? The thing that I never got over with Chinese people is you have a country with 1 billion people. You own almost the entire continent of Asia, and you can't figure it out. If you're Chinese, why do you want to leave China, where everyone looks exactly like you, and they speak your language, and they eat the same foods that you eat, and you're just exactly like them, and it's all cool? Why would you want to leave that and go live in a black ghetto in Chicago and do everything you can to not leave? I don't get it. Chinese people would rather live around African Americans in America than they'd rather live in China around Chinese people. And now we're talking about how white people are domestic terrorists in the country that they built. So this all happened today. I don't want to talk about some of this stuff. It's so stupid. I did a couple videos about this today. I didn't post them. So Adam Schiff now is introducing a bill to make domestic terrorism a federal crime after mass shootings. Who cares? If you're already facing the death penalty, what does it matter? It's a scare tactic, and these people are trying to fool you because they're out of options. They're out of options. This will be the last election that the Democratic Party has any kind of control. I fully believe that. We got the Epstein stuff heating up. He's Jewish. His handler, Ghislaine Maxwell, she was Jewish. Dershowitz, his lawyer, he's Jewish. Bernie Sanders is Jewish. I'm pretty sure this guy, Adam Schiff, I'm pretty sure this guy's Jewish. He looks white, doesn't he? But he's not. He's Jewish. And I would gladly accept these people. 109 times they've been expelled from countries. Expelled. Not exterminated. You understand the difference? So people just, white people, Europeans, Caucasian people, get to the end of their rope and they go, look, we've had enough of you. You're out. And they'll do anything they can to stay in the country. And then white Caucasian people still don't kill them. They still won't kill them. They just say, look, you have to leave. You can't be around us. So there's this famous quote from Benjamin Franklin that people say may not be real, but it's that vampires cannot live on other vampires. If you need adrenochrome, you have to get it from somewhere, and it's best not to get it from your own people. So that's the reason. They need blood to suck. They need to live off of someone else's labor. This is why they always move to cities. This is why they don't move to the country and start a farm. All right, they don't start farms. They don't manual labor. They don't become craftsmen. They don't add any value. They dominate the banking system exclusively. And then they make up all kinds of false historical stuff about how, Christians couldn't lend money at interest, which is a lie. They totally could. It's just the church wouldn't let them because the church was co-opted early. The church used to sell these things called indulgences, which meant that you could pay the church for a crime that you haven't yet committed to save your soul, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's not real. All right, so front runners. Beto O'Rourke is about out. He's not going to be around much longer. Here he is with his own plan. I just showed you Schiff's plan. Beto O'Rourke's saying it. He's got a plan to combat hate and white nationalism. And it's all about guns. They have to take your guns away. Bolshevism. Holodomor. They starved out millions of Ukrainians. My girlfriend's grandparents came from Ukraine. They lived through it, man. They lived through the Holodomor, and they know what it was like, and they fled. And they belong here. But O'Rourke wants to bring back gun confiscation to combat white nationalism in a fucking white country. Why? Well, you get it, They're going to take your guns, then they're going to exterminate you. That's how it works. That's how communism works. Communism is a Jewish creation. It was created by a Jewish man, and it was implemented by Jewish people in every country, all across the world. It's always been a Jewish thing. Karl Marx was a Jew. All right, so what else I see here? Here's more of that Cuomo. So they're doing it federal level with Schiff. They're doing it at the presidential level with Beto O'Rourke, Bernie Sanders. Kamala Harris just did it today. Now here's the governor of New York saying that he's going to do it at a state law. I mean, they're just pulling out all the stops, man. They're not even trying to hide it. All because a Jewish kid supposedly went into a Walmart and shot people. Here's Kamala Harris talking about release executive actions and legislative plans to take on domestic terrorism. There it is right there. Close, gun loopholes and temporary seize guns of suspected domestic terrorists. Of course, those are white people now. Go figure. Here's some more stuff. Senator Martha McSally, Republican, pens a bill to make domestic terrorism a federal offense. Come on, man. It's easy to see what's happening. It's easy. I mean, we're going to win in a landslide. How can they win on this? The country is 60% white, and a lot of other people like having guns. So, what you going to do? I watched a Trump speech. Don't give me that Trump crap about how he's trying to ban guns, because he just came out and said, no way. No possible way. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to do stuff like this. All right, so here's this Jewish man, Bernie Sanders. He'll never be president because they can't have a Jewish president because they'll have someone to blame with their star on him. Here he is with Cardi B pandering to the black community. He does this a lot with his bird pecking hand. Check this shit out. Look at this. We will go to war with white nationalism. This is today, man. It's like on one day, every single Democrat across the board all said this. I didn't think this was real. I mean, I had to double check. It's amazing. We will go to war with white nationalism. And look at this. Look at what he's saying. He's saying we will go to war with white nationalism and racism. Obviously, it's got to be both. He doesn't get very good play. I mean, for a presidential candidate who's already run once, that's not a lot of comments and retweets. But he's serious. I mean, he said it. Look who's back here. This is a black woman. This is a Jewish man. This is what you're up against. Now listen, Andrew Yang said the same thing. Yang Gang 2020. You better knock that stuff off. Andrew Yang said exactly the same thing. He said that he's afraid for his kids in the future because once you come take a country away from white people and they got guns, it's going to be a problem. So I'm out of time. I don't know what else to say. I'll leave links. You should come look at this stuff, man. They're all doing it. It's for a reason. Until next time, it's Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.